everybody's worrying about these MSOs and stuff like that. And I say to them, why do you care if the car dealer gives it to the state? Because nobody from the state is ever going to be able to come into any court and ever make a claim that that car has something to do with them.
Okay.
See, that's what I'm trying to say. I mean, I've seen it. Believe me, I've seen that argument a million times. And it's like, I just helped these folks in Indiana the other day, and it was like 3 sentences I gave that man to ask the prosecutor, like, are you making a claim to my property?
Right.
And it was fun. It was just that simple. Are you making a claim I owe a debt? And then the judge, and then I said, are you making? Do you believe I owe a debt to you?
Mm-hmm.
Because the plaintiff's got to appear in court. So if the state is the plaintiff still has to appear. It's an ancient rule. You can just Google it. You just Google plaintiff must appear, and you'll see like 1 million hits from all over the world. And as soon as you look at any one of those that say plaintiff must appear, it'll say the rules of court. And then underneath it, it'll just make a nice little simple statement. It'll say plaintiff must appear. And then underneath it'll be the rules for the defendant. It'll say the rules for the defendant. The defendant may appear or he may be represented in court. But the plaintiff must always appear. The plaintiff can't be only appeared by counsel or by attorney. The plaintiff must appear. He must physically be in that building. So if you're being accused of doing something wrong by the plaintiff, you have the right to cross-examine the plaintiff. Every defendant has a right to face his accuser and cross-examine his accuser. How are you going to cross-examine his attorney?
So that would be the head of the Department of Motor Vehicles?
I'd like to see Mr. or Mrs. Is it male or female? Yeah, the Department of Motor Vehicles. I don't know. I've never met a Mr. or Mrs. Department DMV.
Yeah. Okay.
So, like I said, that's what I said. It's funny. The folks from Indiana, if you listen to last week's show, they'll say, "Oh boy, the judge said he hasn't seen something like this come across his court." He says for about 20 years, and then he named the guy. He's like, "Oh, do you remember that old crazy guy Bob? Man, yeah, he did something like this 20 years ago." He said, "I ain't seen something like this in 20 years." And then he was reading what I gave the guy could barely read and write English. The man's name is Brian. And he said he got a second, third grade education. He said they always used to make fun of him whenever he went to court. Because he's a little Irish guy, freckles, red hair, the whole bit. He's about 5'3", about 90 pounds. So he used to make fun of him. Even the prosecutor said the last time he was in court 2 times ago, he said the prosecutor was standing behind him, making all kinds of funny gestures behind the guy, and the judge and the prosecutor were laughing, and every time he turned around to see what the prosecutor and judge were doing, the prosecutor was doing behind his back, what he was doing to the judge said, "Don't you worry what the prosecutor is doing behind you. You just pay attention to me." So they're really mocking this poor little guy. And this time, man, they didn't mock him at all. And because he was going to cross-examine the prosecutor. Because he was basically saying, "Where's the plaintiff? You must be the plaintiff. If you're the plaintiff, I'm going to have to require you to answer these questions. Are you claiming I owe you a debt? Who's claiming I owe the debt?" And it was sort of some child support stuff. And so the way I set it up for the man is he only has to pay $30 a month until $13,000, whatever, $8,000, whatever he owes his house. He hasn't paid in 5 years. Whatever it came out to 5 years worth of debt. And then I did another one with a lady up there in Indiana. She had bills for her child in the hospital, and they were hateful to her and her child every time they went into court. But not last time. They said the judge was really nice to her, and the attorney was really nice to her for the hospital, and set it up so she's only paying $5 a month. That's it. But they wanted to garnish a paycheck. They wanted to issue a warning debt, take all the stuff out of her home. And they were really ugly to her, 2 times ago. But this time she said they were really nice. She said the judge said, "Okay, fine, $5, that's it." And the lawyers for the hospital said, "Okay, fine, that's it," because the hospital didn't have to appear. Mr. General Hospital has to appear, or Mrs. General Hospital has to appear. The attorney can't appear for the hospital. Not that the plaintiff must appear. So that's what I say to you guys. Why are you all worried about this MSO stuff? Well, the DMV is going to say this, and the state of Indiana is going to say that. Good. I hope they got a set of vocal cords since the last time I met them. Because as far as I know,
we take them in just to the local county court here.
Yeah, they were just. I'm trying to remember the name of the county. I think it was Knox County.
Right.
The Knox County was south of Evansville. I'm trying to remember the one north of
Stark County. Starke.
Yeah, that's all it was. They were just in they were in circuit court because it was considered a felony and it was over $10,000 they were being sued for.
Yeah.
So in Indiana, you guys got like a district court and a circuit court. So these people going.
Knox County is just south of me.
Yeah, Knox County south down by Evansville by Vincennes.
Yeah.
And then these folks in Fort Wayne, I was in their county. Man, I was in their county for 2 weeks. I was talking to the lieutenant. I still don't remember the damn name of that county off the top of my head. But
all right, if I don't register the vehicle and don't put plates on it,
no, you show the Secretary of State responsibility, financial responsibility layout. They show you. Insurance companies actually have on their webpage. They'll show you how to do proof of financial responsibility. I could have sworn I put it on my webpage.
Was going to get insurance on it, yes.
Yeah, my webpage is boardmine.org, right? You know that, www.boardmine.org.
Yeah, the insurance part is not on there. And on your documents, you've only got 15 documents on there. You don't have the full 40 documents on your case.
I thought I did. Okay, maybe I don't. But like I said, just Google proof of financial responsibility. And actually, like Geico will show you how to do it. Allstate will show you how to do it. And all you have to do is there's like 3 or 4 ways the state accepts proof of responsibility. All you have to do is either buy a state bond, or you have to, like a state savings bond. Like a United States.
I was going to buy full coverage on the vehicle.
But what I'm saying, if the insurance company says no, we want it insured, and because we want to register it, and we have to see proof of title, we want all that stuff. I'm just saying, if an insurance company won't let you do it.
Yeah, he just asked me for the VIN number, and that's all. He would insure it.
Right. So if that's all they want, but sometimes they say, look, we want the VIN number, but we'll give you 30 days to register it and title it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I've seen that. So like I said, if you just Google, quote unquote, is the proof of financial responsibility, you'll actually see the insurance companies. Like I'm in Maryland right now. They don't need insurance on these cars. They don't need them. But what they want to see is proof of financial responsibility. So you could either get a state bond, you could either put money up in escrow, or I'm trying to remember the third one that you could do. They just flat out tell like the state to hold a cash deposit. I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, the actual insurance companies show you how to do it. So it's not my crazy belief, it's the actual way the insurance companies tell you how to do it, how to show proof of financial responsibility. And all you do is send it to the Secretary of State. The Secretary of State actually, the governor, that's the Secretary's governor, the Secretary of State. And the governor's supposed to represent the people. So all you're doing is letting all the people know that you're covered. And if they get into an accident with you, you're fine. So that's all you're trying to get it set up through the Secretary of State's office.
Okay.
And the Secretary of State, if you read Malik, and I have been writing back and forth to the Secretary of State in Illinois, doing just exactly what you're trying to do here. And the Secretary of State said, I just got your letter today. So today means like 12 o'clock, noon. He says, I'm running back to you now. I'm telling you, the Secretary of State will, as soon as he gets you a letter, and like Malik sends him certified, as soon as he gets you a letter, he will respond that day. He will answer you that day. And if you look at the Malik's letters, I don't think I put any on my webpage yet, but the Secretary of State says, very truly yours. So what that means is, like I say to people, it means that he's saying truly he is yours. He's your servant, that he's your public servant. So he recognizes that you recognize that he works for you. Because when I think the Secretary of State, I think we've been calling him Andrew or Andy. It's like, dear Andy, greetings. So because Malik wanted to say, your Honorable Secretary of State, or Secretary of State of Illinois. No, you don't address the title, you address the man. And like if he was your butler, he wouldn't say, your Honorable Butler. You would just say, hey, Bob, or hey, Joe, my butler. Hey, Joe, come here, Joe, I need you to do something for me.
Right.
So you have to talk to them on a first-name basis. And then that's all you have to do. I mean, I don't really, like I said, worry about all this MSO stuff. I mean, what if they make something called a TRW? And then you're going to chase a TRW form down. It's like, I don't care what you people are doing with your magic papers and your magic bonds. I'm not part of your world. I'm in a three-dimensional world. I physically am holding this car. Somebody's going to have to physically come to court and claim that that car that I am physically holding, they should lawfully be physically holding, not me. Let them come and do that. Until then, you have no case.
Yeah.
That's pretty simple. Simple logic, man.
The vehicle door, could I put in there private property, not for hire, and I'm a man?
You mean for like a tag? You mean the license plate, like a tag?
I put it on the front, the driver's side door, and also the rear door, and possibly put a tag on there, a number that I make up.
Well, I really want to put it, like I said, how I always seen it in New York. When I was a kid, it would just say private. It would either just say private or it'd say not for hire. It was just that simple. I mean, I'm only sure you could probably go on the internet right now and go buy a set of tags for $5 each, just say either private or not for hire.
Right.
You don't even got to make anything up. They already sell them. You know, and just say private or not for hire. I mean, believe me, if you had a Mercedes or a Rolls Royce or something like that, or a Cadillac something, you think anybody would stop anybody who had an Escalade that said private on it? You think a cop would actually be crazy enough to stop a black, limousine that said private on it, not for hire, and ask him why does he have a private not for hire thing on it? No,
now,
the guy alone.
If a cop does stop me and I ask him if he's giving me orders and I'm going to bill him for his orders?
Yeah, that'd be wonderful. It's like, like I said, that's a fun way. Then me and Malik are going to try to work it, because Malik doesn't have a commercial driver's license, and it looks like I said, when you folks get DUIs out there, they're making you guys do crazy and crazier stuff. So what was funny with Malik, he did every single class, he paid every single fine, he did every single evaluation, drug test, piss test, he did everything they told him to do. And Secretary of State said, well, we don't believe you were sincere or honest enough in your drinking assessment. We really believe you have a bigger drinker problem than you really admitting that you have. Yeah, so at this time, we're not going to give you back your license.
It's disgusting.
It's ridiculous. And like I said, well, it's because you live in the city of Chicago, and they got mass transit, and they want you guys to stop using your cars. They want you to go green, use the subway, use the buses, use mass transit. That's what they want you guys to do.
That's why I moved to Indiana.
Yeah, well, I like Indiana, man. I've been all over it, man. It's really nice. It's a lot nicer than I thought it was. I thought it was just plain. I thought it was full of hills, like kind of like mountainy, and then it was just all.
South where there was no glacier, there's a lot of hills and valleys there.
Yeah, a little bit, but it's a lot flatter than I thought it was. I didn't think it started getting flat until I got to Iowa, Springfield. I didn't think it got flat until way out there, but it gets pretty flat in Indiana.
Right.
But yeah, like I said, the judges are loving this stuff, man, that I'm handing in there, and they're laughing. They're in Indiana anyway. Mm-hmm. So 2 judges got the stuff so far, and they just said, boy, they had a good time, and the judges enjoyed it. So like I said, when people start realizing how simple this is, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Hey, Karl, when you get a chance.
The prosecutors don't like it, but the judges love it.
Left out.
What's that?
They're left out. That's why they don't want to legalize drugs. Because
hey, right. They're just sitting there, and then they got nothing to do. Oh, it's so funny. Like the little guy said, the judge said to the little guy, do you want to proceed? And the little guy said, nah, let the prosecutor have another month like he wants it, nah. And I said, no. I said, what you're supposed to say, you never say no in court. The judge ever says that, you always do that conditional acceptance stuff, that Gordon Hall conditional, not that big 37-word bullshit thing that he does. But you know what I'm saying. He's supposed to say, well, yeah, you know what? I would like to proceed. I'd like to proceed right to a dismissal. And if you don't want to dismiss it, then I'd like to move to getting me some sort of a scheduling fee for me reappearing here and have to come and take some time off from work and reappear. So, yeah, that I'd like to proceed to. So either can we proceed to a dismissal without prejudice, because I'd be glad to come back here when he has a bona fide, legitimate case against me. But if he don't, I'm going to require a scheduling fee, Judge, because you're getting paid to be here, and he's getting paid to be here, and she's getting paid to be here. I'd like to get paid to be here. We should all be fair, square. This should all be fair and just. We all should be getting a little bit of something for being here today.